Welcome to Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
So, this week, we need to give a shout out because my birthday came and went, thankfully. And
we all survived.
And we all survived, and everything's fine. They had to send me to another country, but we all survived.
We survived his return as well.
So, our wonderful publicist, June, launched a campaign for the best birthday greeting.
Meme?
/video. /video, yes. And we got some entries.
Amazing!
Woohoo! Yay!
Yay for entries.
People watch us. So, rather than name just a winner, we're going to have a tie.
We're having a tie.
So, special thanks to our good friend, Chris, publicist's husband, was just cranking out the memes that day.
That's
made me
right.
laugh every time I saw them. I enjoyed them all, Chris.
He's a meme master.
Can't even begin to tell you. Special thanks to the lizard for cranking out the Star Wars Emperor meme.
Yes,
I enjoyed that one. But very special thanks to the children that submitted videos and pictures.
And Tasha.
There was Tasha?
The dog.
Oh, the dog. Yes, that's right. I forgot about Tasha. Tasha the dog. There were so many. See all the people that watch our show?
Tasha loves us.
We have a whole dozen. Anyway.
What's an opposite of the baker's dozen? Like the cheapskates dozen? It's like 5.
Right. Plus a dog.
Plus a dog.
So special shout out to the children. Xander, Asher, Adelaide, Sophie, and Cam. That was everybody, right? I was really worried before we started taping that I wasn't going to remember everybody. But thank you.
If he forgot you, we apologize.
Yes, you are all viewers of the week. Congratulations. Yes. I know your lives have been rocked by that.
I know, it's life-changing.
It is.
Really
It is. So, yes, but thank you. Birthday was great.
Now,
cheers!
Speaking of shout-outs, I have to do a quick one before I forget, and I'm sorry I have to look it up again. Today's wardrobe is... made by... Sorry, wow, that's terrible. Thank you to Cammie Hales for making this shirt that I get to wear that makes me feel pressure to use movie quotes.
She does.
I'm going to do my best.
You can do it. I have faith. So speaking of viewer of the week...
We have another viewer
of the week because, we have a dozen of people that watch us.
That's right. But this is a very well-earned viewer of the week.
It is.
Sometimes we just hand these out willy-nilly, but this one...
This is a double winner, we're not going to lie, and I'm going to let you do the reveal because I have the story to follow up to the reveal.
So this person has been viewer of the week before. However, she definitely earned the spot again this time by having the... Let's call it the unfortunate opportunity to sit next to Jared
for 5 hours
on a flight from Salt Lake to New York.
Yes. Ingrid.
We're
talking about you.
Ingrid Merrickman. Viewer of the week times 2.
That's right.
Now, let's learn how, besides having to sit by Joe. Besides having to sit
now
by
we know what the real punishment
Jared,
is.
I've got to get my head checked. Anyway, besides sitting next to Jared, what did she do?
So, I don't know. Well, first, I can tell this story. I hope she doesn't mind. The first crack up is she spotted me before I spotted her. And all of a sudden I hear this, "Hello, Mr. Vincent." It was like a James Bond movie.
Who doesn't love that?
I was like, "Oh, Ingrid." So no, it was hilarious because I was sat in between her and her sister. And so I'm like, "Do you guys want to sit together?" And both of them, "Oh no."
We're vacationing.
We're fine. We're on vacation. We're going to be together enough. You sit behind, you be the buffer.
Jared is
buffer. I know, right? So the great story, though, of this flight, so we're getting ready to land, and we land, and people are getting up, to get their luggage from the overhead bin. And there's this gentleman that's in a tank top, and I see him...
Okay, wait, time out.
What?
I'm sorry, but if a man is wearing a tank top, I don't think you can call him a gentleman.
You make a point, actually. And the reason I called him a gentleman is because he was of a certain age.
Oh,
so he should not have been wearing it at all.
No.
And it's funny because my family and I recently had a discussion about when is too old for a man to wear a tank top.
When you become a
That's
gentleman.
not, yes, exactly. I mean, it's one thing if you're in the gym, you know, getting your pump on or whatever. But, yeah, if you're just wearing it in public,
Even then.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway.
So
the man with the
this
tank top.
man stands up and he's got his back to us, obviously. And so I start, Ingrid. And she's like, what? I'm like, gotta look at this guy, because then I'm doing the head movement too. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because I'm going to tell this story on the show and I need a witness.
I tried to witness to her.
I just couldn't save her at all.
She's just
You're
defiant.
saved.
I can't remember that whole quote from that, but I tried.
That's right.
I tried to witness to her.
So anyway, this guy on the back of his arm has a full-on bite mark. Like a human mouth, like clamped. And to make it worse,
The teeth were still there.
he didn't get away easily. Like, so there's this line following the bottom of the jaw that goes down his arm. And I just wanted to know what happened. That's it. I mean, maybe it wasn't a human. I guess it could have been a monkey. It was just so bizarre. I mean, I seriously thought about tracking him down in the airport, you know, because I had a little bit of a layover. What happened to you?
Are you okay? Did you know that there's part of your arm missing?
Did you get a rabies shot? I wanted to know.
Wow.
It was just so bizarre.
Wow.
So yeah, so I was glad, Ingrid, that you were there to share that special moment with me.
And apparently,
Even though we were really tired.
what he's not telling you also is that Ingrid spent the majority of the flight talking to him about the show.
She did.
Another
It was
reason
Trey,
to be
viewer of the week. I mean, I'm not going to lie. She was dropping stuff that I can't remember. Remember when you said that? Okay.
I guess.
I mean, we've said frequently.
We've said a lot of things, too.
We're lucky if we remember the next day. The
next day, as soon as the camera turns off, we don't remember what we just said.
It's true. Producer is nodding his head.
That's why he has to take notes. Write that down.
Write down that we don't remember anything.
Write it down so we don't forget. That we forget.
Right? Oh, gracious.
Yeah, that was rough. I saw that.
I was like, speaking of wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah. Speaking of drooling.
Oh, good. I'm glad I gave you a segue.
Yeah. So this past 4th of July, and for this upcoming 24th of July, if you live in Utah.
That's a Utah thing, yes.
Yes.
Did I tell you that apparently we're the only state that, like, celebrates its statehood day or whatever?
We're cool like that.
I guess so.
No, I
Are we
heard
not?
that
Who else?
Missouri celebrates it, and so does California.
Oh, okay, that's good.
They also-
I'm glad
they-
we're not
they all
losers.
celebrate-
Missouri
24th of
celebrates
July?
it because we left, and California celebrates it because
we didn't get that far.
There you have it. From producer's mouth to your ears.
Anyway, we have nervous dogs at our house, so we have to pull out the drugs. And
Oh, no.
so we've got some drugs for Molly because we know that she freaks out.
Right.
Stella last year was fine, but this year she barks at
I wonder if I need to start giving my dog drugs. That's not a bad idea, actually.
Right. Well, so she barks at the fireworks. And so I came in one of the days, because it wasn't on the 4th itself. I think it was the night before. And she was going crazy. She's running all through the house, just doing circles and barking. And I was like, do you think we need to give her some pills? And the Hubs was like, I already did. About 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
I was like,
She's got a high tolerance.
well, I was like, I wonder if it has the adverse effect where it's making her hyper instead of calming her down. And so she kept acting like she needed to go outside. So I let her outside and she runs out and she's doing gazelle leaps through the yard. And then about 20 minutes later, she was out.
I'm glad it finally hit. No, well,
Yeah.
I probably need to start doing that with my dog because we will give her tranks to go get groomed. So why not for the fireworks? I mean, come on.
Right?
Might help her out a little bit. Anyway, that's
I know.
hilarious.
Yeah, who knew?
So, speaking of dogs.
Yes. You'd think we planned it, but we didn't.
But we didn't. Actually, yeah, no, this gives me, a good entry for this story.
Oh, boy.
So as I said, I was out of the country for my birthday. I was in Aruba. And the hotel we were staying at, At the time when we first checked in and were there, I think it took us like a day to realize, we were staying at an iguana sanctuary.
That's awesome. My roommate from college had a pet iguana.
Oh, iguanas everywhere. So the reason why these iguanas were basically like dogs. That's why when you started talking about dogs. So of course there's signs everywhere. Do not feed the animals. Do not feed the animals. What are the stupid tourists doing? Feeding the animals.
This is why people hate Americans. I'm just saying. Don't be stupid.
Well, no, it's even funnier that you would say that because the do not feed the animal signs only in English.
There's a reason for that. As I say to Wesley frequently, Americans, we're the worst.
So, these iguanas would come up and full on beg. And
like this?
Yeah, like they would get up, the one would get up on the edge of your chair and, you know, fully wait for you. Another one freaked my friend out where basically just like a dog, the iguana comes up and curls up by his chair. I don't know how long it was before he realized, but he had a good jump.
That's awesome.
To do. And yeah, we would worry though, like when we got in the pool, that the iguanas were going to come and sit in our loungers.
They would just be saving your seat. Did they go in the pool?
No, but they would be by the rocks by the pool, and that's when I would get startled because I would be over and think I was fine, and then there's this iguana playing chameleon.
Are they chameleons or iguanas? They
were iguanas. But we did see some chameleons crawling.
Or did you?
No, we didn't. Crawling.
They're chameleons.
Crawling under the door of the room next to us. And I'm sorry, that's when it would have been over for me. If I'd found a lizard and I told my fellow travel companions that, it was going to be bad.
Lizards I would be okay with. It's those other creepy crawly things that I can't handle. And here's the difference. I think I figured it out.
Oh, the spiders are big down there. You wouldn't do it.
Oh, no,
well.
no.
Yeah.
See, okay, I figured it out. If they have, like, actual feet,
right,
then I'm okay with that. If they're just walking around on their spindly little legs, I can't handle that. So flies,
Spindly
spiders,
little legs.
their spindly little legs with no feet, no, that's where I draw the line. You gotta have feet.
See, and...
I just sent you a video.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of not touching the animals.
Oh, dear.
Are we going to have to show it on the screen?
I'll show it for everybody to see.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna watch.
We have to watch it right now? Oh.
Yep. Oh, it helps if
I think this is a
play.
child.
You're not supposed to touch the animals.
Oh, you're not supposed to touch the animals.
I can't believe he's letting William pet him. This is a chipmunk squirrel thing. Wow.
Wow.
I've never seen one get pet before.
Where was that at?
Zion's.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
They're tame.
Sheesh. Well, speaking of, dogs/lizards in the pool, did I tell you that we caught Molly peeing in her pool? Like full on. We have one
You
of
need
those,
a sign.
seriously. We have one of those kiddie pools for her to play in and she loves it.
Right.
And whatever, but I look over and I'm like, what is she? She's peeing in her pool. Was she a toddler?
Just tell me the other one wasn't drinking it.
Luckily, no.
Okay.
That's typically what happens. Molly
That was
splashes
my
around,
first-
and then Stella comes and drinks the dirty bath water. And so I'm like, well, maybe that's why Stella won't get in. I don't know. But she's drinking it, so whatever.
She saw when you guys' backs were turned.
Right?
She didn't
She's
know.
like, no. So yeah, what is that about?
So, since we just watched that video of your nephew,
Yes.
Speaking of nephews, there's a story you need to tell me.
Yes.
And I want to know it now, because
Okay.
I've been waiting for this recording
Oh my gosh.
to hear it.
So this week, we are going to feature the lives of my nephews, Alex and Riley.
It actually sounds like it could be a show.
I know, right?
The lives of
The
Alex and
misadventures
Riley.
of Alex and Riley, because let me tell you. So let me decide which one
Was
to
it a
tell you.
comedy of errors?
No. Maybe. No.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Anyway. Okay, so let's start with their new jobs.
Oh, this is the part I've been waiting for.
Okay. So they just both recently started jobs at the movie theater. So
Oh.
I'm asking Alex, what do you do at the movie theater? And he says to me, well, I'm in charge of all of the revenue that comes from the shops how did he say? I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but he was like, I'm in charge of all the revenue that's not theater revenue or something. And I was like, oh, that sounds really impressive. He's like, like the box office is in charge of the revenue for the films. I'm like, okay.
For the tickets.
And so I'm thinking, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, well, so what do you do? And he says, I work concessions. And then he says, but Riley just sweeps the floor. And then Riley was going on about how sweeping the floor was, in fact, the better job. I can't remember why.
We need to visit that theater now.
I know we do. But yeah, the way that he explained it was just fantastic. I'm in charge of all the revenue for the outside sales.
That's hilarious.
Right? So then, the other Alex and Riley story, they were in Idaho and happened to purchase a vehicle while they were in Idaho. And
because why not?
Why not?
Some people go for the taters.
Some people
go
go for the cars. Now, when you buy a car in Idaho, what I recommend against is buying one that's been sitting in a field. And here's why.
Was it on blocks? Tell me it was on blocks.
I don't know. However, they're driving home, and they get to Salt Lake County, and Alex is driving. Riley's in the passenger seat, and Alex, they're wearing their summer gear, right? So shorts and sandals, okay. So they're driving, and after they get to Salt Lake County, Alex is like, we started hearing this kind of squeaking noise. And they're thinking, oh, it's the air conditioner, or maybe it's a tire or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
So then they get a little further down towards Lehigh, and Alex, who's driving, happens to look down towards his feet.
Oh no!
And sees 2 newborn rat babies.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
For reals! The rat babies! And I was like, what did you do? Because he was wearing sandals!
No! Okay, that is worse than the lizards.
So I asked him...
Where was the mother?
Well, that was just it. So they pull over, and he says, we extracted the rat babies.
They threw them. No.
And they put them in the field. He felt very bad about it, especially because they couldn't find the mother. The mother was nowhere to be found.
The mother probably fell out on I-15 through the hole in the floor.
From whence they came.
It's like a Flintstone car. They were using their feet the whole time.
The next thing he says is, I got it detailed the next day. And there was no mother rat.
Oh, can you imagine? Poor detailer.
I told him, I don't know how you did not crash that vehicle, because I would have freaked
I would have
out.
too. I would have too. Oh, especially if you're in sandals.
Right. And they were just these tiny little, he showed me pictures of them, these little rat babies.
Pictures, oh. Simon and Garfunkel.
That's their names now. Rat babies. So then they had to fix the headlights. There was something wrong with the headlights, and so Alex was telling me. So the hubs is helping him fix the headlights, and I'm taking a look at the car, and it's like this faded kind of green, and I was like, "That's a pretty cool looking color." He's like, "I know, right?" And he says, and he's like, "They've got some pretty classy tinting going on too." And so I look at the tint, and it's like all bubbled, you know. And I was like, "This is." I said,
I don't
"You
like
know,
bubble tinting either."
Nobody does. That means it's done wrong." Anyway, there's a big like woofer in the back in the trunk, so there's no spare tire, and it's got the fancy rims. And so I said, "You can't get rid of this car. This here's a cruising car." And he says, "I can just see it now. Hey, babe, want to come see my monster logo on the side of the car?" This car used to be a rat baby house.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was disappointed that he didn't say, "Want to see my rat babies?"
We have to be careful. You say that too fast, she's going to think you're
rat babies.
Exactly. Simon and Garfunkel.
This is why no one I actually know has a real name. Everybody has a nickname. It's much easier to remember the nicknames than real names.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, shall we wrap up on that note?
We might have to.
Because that was a high note. I mean, can't get any higher than that. I mean, you can, but...
talk about extracting rat babies and expect to top it. Okay?
No. Not at all.
Good times.
All right, I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We will see you next time.
I guess.
Sad that it's over? Well, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't. You can keep interacting with us by liking or commenting. Give us something else to talk about. Or give us some feedback and you can be Viewer of the Week.
Or
15 seconds of fame.
Yeah. Or tell us your funny story. Let us talk about you.
We would love to talk about you.
Like-
Comment, subscribe, and share.